Hey, and welcome to today's episode where I'm going to be talking to you about the essential differences between masculine and feminine consciousness and why this matters with regard to your feminine power. And we're going to talk a bit about how that plays out in dynamics in relationships. Before we dive on in, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. And while you're at it, click on that little bell because it will notify you of when I have new uploads. So today I'm talking to you about the essential core differences between masculine and feminine consciousness. And why I'm talking to you about it as consciousness is these are forces of consciousness that are inside all of us, whether you're a man or a woman. I'm never here to talk to you about females or women being better than men. That is just not my thing. We are here talking to you as women, this channel's She TV, who want to become more feminine and become powerfully feminine. And we have all lost how to do that. We've forgotten what that means. So the reason why I want to do this today is I thought that talking about masculine and feminine consciousness might help to illustrate these core fundamental differences to you inside yourself, and then you can see them in dynamics in your life, including relationships. So the first one is the difference between arrow consciousness and cup consciousness. So a very powerful spiritual teacher called Arnaud Desjardins speaks about masculine and feminine consciousness as a difference between arrow consciousness and cup consciousness. The masculine is arrow consciousness, that of directional motion, forward motion, penetration, moving toward a goal, moving towards something. And feminine consciousness is that of cup consciousness, that of spaciousness, receptivity, opening, welcoming, love, and letting go. And the next ones I'm going to speak about in many ways are derivatives of this core difference between arrow and cup consciousness. So the second essential difference between masculine and feminine consciousness is that of central focus, masculine consciousness, versus spreading consciousness. And again, I want to remind you that one is not better than the other. We could not exist without both masculine and feminine consciousness inside of us or in the world around us. There's times when we need to have central focus, and there's times when we need to be more spread, more toward opening, more towards surrender and letting go. And if you're anything like me, a woman that focused her life way more on masculine consciousness for a long time, this learning of these differences and how to be in feminine consciousness is really important and essential to your own personal transformation. And the third essential difference between masculine and feminine consciousness is the difference between doing and being. Doing, action, movement forward, movement toward is masculine consciousness. Doing, okay? Being is feminine consciousness, okay? And just do a little sidebar here. Being doesn't mean sitting on the couch, eating chocolates, watching Netflix marathons. That's not being, that's avoiding. Being is a state of readiness, a state of receptivity, a state of openness. It's very conscious. There's a consciousness in being. In fact, we could say that all meditation practices head you toward this ability to be more in this feminine type of consciousness. So we could say that doing, action, is more about our daily life, of what our day asks of us. And being consciousness, the feminine, is more what we'd attribute to things like meditation, to time out, to reading, to sexuality even. Now, the fourth essential difference between masculine and feminine consciousness is the difference between providing or provision and receiving or receptivity. Providing is about as central and core to masculine consciousness as you can get. And as a sidebar with relationships, this is something that the masculine is always wanting to do for the feminine, to provide safety, to provide experiences, to provide a life or lifestyle for him and his family, right? And feminine consciousness is that of receiving and receptivity. And again, I want to point out here that when I speak about the differences between these types of consciousness, it is not an inactive thing, feminine consciousness. Receiving is an art. It's something that you learn how to do, how to be, how to actively receive and to receive gracefully, as I always say in my trainings. And the fifth essential difference between masculine and feminine consciousness is, and I had a huge epiphany about this recently, it's the difference between creating versus producing results. Creating is this essential feminine thing, creativity. Think about the woman is the one that grows the baby, creates the baby. The feminine creates. And if you think about how the baby's created, it's not passive because there are forces making this happen, but there's nothing that you need to do but help open to and allow that to happen. Creating, when you create something, it flows through you. It's a joy. There's a delight in the experience of creating. Versus masculine consciousness here, which is producing results. So the feminine creates just to create. She sketches something, she paints something, she makes a video, she designs something in her house, just because of the experience of the delight that it affords her. The masculine loves producing and loves producing results. Yeah? It's something that the masculine loves in us and the masculine in men absolutely adores. Yeah. So I'll give you an example here. Me producing videos, there's a big difference between me just creating the video and then having to edit the video, market the video, upload it, do SEO on the video. That's production. Creation is just me sitting here sharing with you things that I hope can help you. And the sixth essential difference between masculine and feminine consciousness is that of experience orientation versus goal orientation. And yes, this is a little similar to the last one, and yet I wanted to make a distinction here just to illustrate that the feminine does things for the experience in the moment as she is doing it, as the feminine is doing anything. And even if it's moving towards something, the experience at every moment is the feminine, right? So I have a whole process that I teach women in my trainings called desire setting, which is to the feminine what goal setting is to the masculine. And the essential difference is this experience orientation, being in the juiciness, the aliveness, the creative fullness of every moment of life and of an experience. Whereas the masculine loves goals, loves their arrow consciousness, targeting toward a goal. That matters to them. Not just targeting it, but then achieving it. That's really huge for masculine consciousness. Awesome. So what I would love you to do today is to share down below in the comments any ahas you have got from today's video. And remember, when you have the courage to go out there and shine, you give others permission to do the same. So let's go out there and shine this week. Bye-bye for now.